welcome to another episode of the Heartland Franchise Guy, your insider's guide to all things franchising in the local area. I'm Blake Martin, local small business franchise owner, and your Heartland Franchise Guy. This is the place for advocacy, resources, and education on all things franchising in the local area, and it's a great place for any entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur to stop by if they just want to learn more about the franchising industry. Today we have somebody who's important to all kinds of businesses, and I'd like to welcome our guest, Martina Niemeyer, who is the Omaha Market President for the Centersphere organization. Thanks for being here today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You look very springy.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah.
It's spring, so what kind of?
Ish. It's Nebraska. It's
right.
like maybe kind of whatever.
Right.
So let's just start. Let's jump right in to start off. What is Centersphere?
Centersphere is a networking organization that is set up to really build a network of local support for individuals and businesses so that they are able to really get authentic referrals from individuals and tap into a network on a larger scale just through relationships. They do that through relationships generally. So, yeah.
Can this benefit locally owned and operated franchisees?
It absolutely can.
Oh, okay. I'm glad I asked. That must be why you're here on the Heartland
Yes.
Franchise Guy podcast.
I think that's why you asked me, yeah.
It is, yeah. It's amazing how that works, huh? So what's your role? Talk a little bit about what you do for the Centersphere networking organization.
Sure. So as the Omaha Market President, I'm over the Omaha area, meaning that whatever my members may need, whether it is specific connections or if they want to get involved in different ways, I'm there to kind of help guide them and help them navigate that a little bit. But also I talk to prospective people looking to get involved, wanting to have more access to more faces and more people throughout the community, and really build out their brand awareness and, just get to know other people. So, yeah, that I kind of help navigate that a little bit.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, but there's all kinds of networking groups and organizations around. Why does somebody join Centersphere?
Well, Centersphere is truly dominant in the Omaha space in the fact that we have a large membership. We have a lot of chapters. Many of our members do enjoy going to chapter meetings.
Yeah.
We also have network-wide events. Our members themselves will put on events, and we as an organization put them on. Chapters will put them on. So there's a lot of opportunities. And when you join Centersphere, you're not joining a chapter necessarily. You're joining the network as a whole. So it doesn't necessarily stop at the boundaries of Omaha either. If that's how your business operates, that's great. And there's a lot of places that you can tap into right here in Omaha. But you also have access to the network as a whole. So
Which is a national footprint?
It's in 25 different states right now. So we're all over the place.
We can officially call it national.
Yeah, we could call that national.
It's more than regional, that's
yes,
for sure.
Definitely more than regional. And so, you have the ability to reach out and connect with people in all of those different areas. And similarly to, not just being in a chapter, you can also access any of the 700 plus members we have in the Omaha area as well. If there doesn't happen to be somebody sitting in your chapter that you need to connect with or that you'd like to connect with, you still can do that.
So if there's a subject matter expert in Oklahoma City and that professional doesn't exist within the network in Minneapolis or Omaha or whatever,
right.
It's not unusual. It's not unnatural for for us to reach out and say, I really need your expertise.
Right. We have members who use it all sorts of different ways when they're crossing outside of necessarily like just the Omaha boundaries. They may go to other cities and visit their events and their chapters. They may reach out and ask to join them virtually. They may just want to reach out and do a quick one-to-one over the phone or, virtually with those people just to have those connections. And then, if people they know or the business that they're doing goes into those areas, they already have contacts that can be beneficial to those people. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
So just continuing on that national footprint, what if somebody's intrigued about the Centersphere organization, but there is no chapter where they are in their state or in their city?
Well, we definitely would always like to expand out into other areas. So we have we have a particular person, her name's Ashley Hens, and she is the support on that, and she is the one that members would get in contact with, or, prospective members would get in contact with, and then talk about how to develop that out into a new area, and what it looks like to have the support on that end. She kind of does what I do here in the Omaha area on a larger scope, in a lot of those other areas that are just starting to blossom into having a lot of chapters and things like that.
Gotcha. Speaking of which, if people want to learn more about Centersphere, where do they go?
They go to centersphere.com, and there's a lot of information there as far as, what we offer for our members, nonprofits that are a part of us, all sorts of different things like that. But yeah, they can fill out a guest request pass, and that will actually designate who they end up talking to, and they'll end up talking to the right person for the area in which they're interested.
Gotcha. And it's centersphere.com. So all one word, center and sphere, like spherical.
No dashes or dots or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. And then they get all the contact info. Talk to me a little bit more about any features or benefits that people should know about, right? So I'm a new franchise owner, right, in wherever. And I got a lot of decisions to make and a limited amount of funds to invest in how I'm going to get my name and my brand out there. Right. Why Centersphere versus lots of different other marketing options?
Well, first of all, it's that larger footprint, right? That's a huge benefit. And even if that larger footprint just means stepping outside of your chapter, chapters are really great. They're huge advocates for you. You're top of mind for them, all of that. But then when you step outside of that, maybe there are industry professionals that you need more than one kind of in your corner, more than one that you've talked to, because that can be beneficial to your business. So you have access to all of those. That's huge. Our hub is the sites that we have everything operate on, and you are able to find chapters that are going on, industries that you'd maybe like to connect with, and you can find everybody that's in those industries in particular areas. You can find the events that are going on. So that's really interactive and helpful as well. That's a huge piece of ours, and it's on an app. So that's always good too.
It is.
Everybody loves an app.
I'm a Centersphere member, and I got the app.
That's right. That's right.
I was the first adopter of the app.
Were you?
No, not even close.
I was like, that is a claim to fame.
I said it that way because I knew you'd know if I was lying. So
I don't know if
I
I
might have been the 100th adopter. I don't know. It's possible.
So yeah, cool.
So in regards to the organization as a whole, when you think about different experiences that you've had where you've seen business owners, new or experienced business owners, who've benefited from Centersphere, or how the network works, can you kind of paint a picture from, without using names, of course, but from experiences of people that have gained from being part of the membership?
Yeah, so I have several different things that come to mind right away. Actually, I've got one guy that he was with one industry, and he started thinking he wanted to possibly go into another industry. He already started to build some relationships with that other industry he was in the network for, and so then he started this budding business, and because he already had those relationships, those people came around him, and they built him up, and they encouraged him, and then they also helped him troubleshoot, and they helped him with all of the things that go along with business, right? And then pretty soon it morphs into, now they're giving referrals because they trust him, so they maybe don't know anything about the business that he has developed and is just now launching, but they know that he produces quality work. And so whatever he puts his name stamp on, it's going to be great. So then they, like a friend, go, okay, yeah, I would love to try that out, or I have someone who that would be a really great fit for. And it just kind of naturally grows like that. He's actually launched 2 more businesses in the process of that, simply because one of them I think is a franchise, actually. And I think you helped him get into that. But
glad to hear that.
But he just knows that he has such a strong network of support here that he's able to just continue to grow these dreams and visions that he has to, have different businesses. So that's one way. I have other people who have utilized it really for brand awareness. They're brand new to the area. Maybe they've been in their industry for a while, but they just had a move recently, or they decided to do something new with their business, and so they get into the network. They start to build relationships. People start to learn to know, like, and trust them, and naturally that ends up being a profitable thing for them because those people are sending their friends and family their way, and things like that. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Are there any requirements or qualifications to be a member of the Centers for organization?
Really, you just have to want to build connections with people through relationship. I mean, that's what I would say is a requirement.
So, it's not just for entrepreneurs or
no.
just for business owner. Okay.
Yeah. So I have people who will ask, I want to be in like a entrepreneur focused group. Well, I don't really have those that are just focused on that specifically because we have people from all sorts of different businesses. Our chapters are industry exclusive, so you're not going to find one that's all just one kind of industry or anything like that. You're going to find a conglomeration of a lot of different industries, from financial to home services to trades to everything in between. Creative things and stuff like that. So it's. And I think there's a lot of value from that. I also have people who ask if they can have specific age groups. No, there's no age groups necessarily. I actually think that we gain a lot from people who have been in business for a really long time and people who are just walking into the business space with fresh ideas and new thoughts on things. And I think that a lot can be gained as those come together and collaborate with one another. So yeah.
In that response, you added something that I whizzed right by, but when it comes to the like an area or a region for Centersphere, there's no limitation on how many people of a certain industry can be in the Centersphere region. But if you are a member of a specific chapter that meets every week, that is industry exclusive. So if you're a banker, there's not going to be another banker in that chapter and so on and so forth. And
that's really helpful because while we can collaborate with people that do the same things that we do, in that space, as you're building those relationships, you want to become that industry expert.
Trusted advisor.
Yes. Yeah. And so that's really why we do that end of things. It ends up being the lawn care person that you're going to use because that they know their stuff. It ends up being the realtor that you'll refer to because that your friend will be taken care of. That type of thing. And if there's multiple, then it can just lead to kind of a competitive type of a feel, which is not necessarily what we're going for. We're going for more collaborative. So.
And you need to stay in that chapter. You don't go visit other ones, right?
Well, you can go visit other ones if those chapters have openings for that. So let's say you are a franchisee and you run a business that's relatively niche. Okay. Then
like a franchise brokerage or something. Right?
Yeah, something like that, right? So what you are able to do is you're able to look on the hub to see which chapters have industry openings in that specific industry, and then you can go and you can visit those chapters. That's just another way that you can tap into networks. You can present to those chapters. You can reach out to those specific chapter members for one-to-ones, lots of things like that, just to continue to grow your sphere of, influence and awareness and all of that. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I hope that answered your question.
It's the only softball I'm giving you.
Okay.
They're all going to be hard questions from here.
Oh, good.
So again, where do people go to learn more about Centersphere?
Centersphere.com.
Gotcha.
Yes. So it's technically 2 words, but when you put it into a web address, we have it all squeezed together. So,
Yep. And for anybody that's missed it, who's listening to it, we got the QR code on the screen. Just scan that, get in touch with us, and we'll make sure that you get the info you need.
Yeah.
So one more question for you, Martina.
Okay.
So what do you hope your 80-year-old self says about you?
Ooh. I hope that my 80-year-old self can see the difference and the impact that I've made on the lives of anybody I've come in contact with, that I have influenced the environment that I have been in, whatever environment that might be. This podcast, my home, that I've influenced that environment for good.
For the record, I did not give her that question ahead of time. That was that almost sounded rehearsed.
It wasn't.
I'm impressed. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I know you better.
Yeah. Good.
Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. This is enjoyable.
Absolutely. And thank you all for joining us on another episode of the Heartland Franchise Guy. If you need contact information for Martina or Centersphere, just feel free to scan the QR code on your screen, as I said before, and we'll get you in touch with them once you've got our contact information. And of course, don't keep us a secret, right? Particularly if you know somebody that could benefit from what they heard about Centersphere in this session. Just make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and follow. And if you see any episodes of the Heartland Franchise Guy that you think would benefit somebody else, please feel free to share those. We appreciate you being with us again. One more time, thank you to our guest, Martina Niemeyer. We appreciate your time here today. And we'll see you all again here on another episode of the Heartland Franchise Guy.